Logical morning, everyone. Welcome to Vidhigya presents the Hindu newspaper analysis. In today's session, we will have following segment: first, overview of today's newspaper; second, must-know topics and explanation; and third, quiz time with 5 important questions. So, starting with the first segment, that is overview of today's newspaper. The first article here is 15,920 evacuated so far, but it's long wait for 700 and some. So this is not important. It's about that evacuation of Indian citizens from Ukraine under Operation Ganga. Under Operation Ganga. So you have to remember the operation name of the operation, and the name is Operation Ganga. So this is important in case they ask under which operation Indian government has evacuated Ukraine citizens from Ukraine. It is Operation Ganga. Another important topic is winged visitor from abroad flock to wetlands in India. So this is not much important. What is important is about wetlands, about Ramsar Convention and wetlands in Punjab. So this we will discuss. And there is one more topic about Mekedatu project. So here we will discuss about Mekedatu project and the dispute. What is the dispute? And we will discuss about Krishna River dispute. So next article is in sanctions bite Nord to stream in the crosshair. So we have discussed about, so this topic we will not discuss, we will, because we have discussed about the importance of Nord Stream gas pipeline for Russia as well for Ukraine, for Russia as well as for European Union and for Germany especially. So around 40% of European Union's oil and gas comes from Russia. So this becomes an important, that Nord Stream becomes an important. So we have discussed about Nord 1 that started in 2011. We have discussed about Nord 2 that started construction in 2017-18, but still yet, but not functional yet, and certification is halted because of the Russia's invasion of Ukraine. And then this is the basic information that you have to remember. And from Russia, it comes to that from where it originates. So this also we have discussed, and why this is important, because this provides a big leverage to the European Union to force Russia to stop invasion, because Russia earns huge amount of revenue from by exporting gas to European Union. So that is a major concern. But what is happening along with this, that because of the Russia-Ukraine crisis, Russia-Ukraine crisis, the prices of crude oil are increasing. And because of this, there is increasing inflation, there is increasing shipping cost and the prices of all the product, because when the transit or shipping costs will increase, the overall prices of the any goods will be increased. So that is important. Nothing much relevant from this article. It talks about the history about that how USA shale gas revolution, how earlier USA was supplying, then how Russia, and what is the current situation. So that is not important. Now another topic is quadrilateral cohesiveness. So the quadrilateral meeting happened recently between the leaders of the four countries. So this will discuss what was the meeting about. Then this topic is about, not important for exam, it's about China and Taliban relations. So that is not important, but you need to remember that in August 2021, like USA started withdrawing its forces and Taliban took over Afghan regime. So that is important. A safety net for students abroad. So this article talks about that the government should provide a safety net to the students who are studying abroad. In this topic, we'll discuss why students are studying abroad and what is the safety net about, what is about. Then we have discussed with you Operation Ganga. So there's nothing important in this. What is important is what is Operation Ganga. Then this is all related to elections. Then there is one more article: locally made trainer aircraft finishes sea trial. So this is important. This we will discuss. This is the factual information that we will discuss. So that's all. Now we will discuss about our segment 2. So we'll start with segment 2. The topics that we'll discuss are these are the topics. These are the 5 articles that we'll discuss about Mekedatu project, quad meet, this locally made trainer aircraft, a steady net for students abroad, and and about the Ramsar Convention. So first, this is related to about wetlands and Ramsar Convention. So first thing, that is, what is Ramsar Convention? So it is a convention on wetlands. Wetlands that was signed in the year 1971 in Ramsar city. In Ramsar city of Iran, because it was signed in Ramsar city of Iran. That's why it's known as Ramsar Convention. The convention, what is the objective or mission? This convention, the conservation and wise use of all wetlands through local and national action. Conservation of wetland and wise use, because this ecosystem, this biodiversity is very much important for the survival of the human being also. And like, through this will be done through national and international cooperation as a contribution toward achieving sustainable development goal. So it is also towards SDGs, sustainable development goal. There are 17 SDGs that were like to be implemented by 20 for a period of 15 years, from 2016 onwards to 2030. So you have to remember how many sustainable development goals are there. So there are 17 sustainable development goals. So the objective we have discussed, the conservation and wise use of wetland. Wetlands are important for like agriculture purposes, for like for your water conservation, for your water storage, and like for reducing the speed of flood and tsunami. And then important for it provides habitat to various living beings like birds and other fishes, small animals. So there are multiple use of wetland. Therefore, it is important not only from the human perspective, but from the perspective of biodiversity, and from perspective of like achieving the goal of sustainable development goals. So this is the important. So the contracting parties, which are now 171. So there are 171 parties under Ramsar Convention. So suitable wetland under this Ramsar list of wetland of so in there is a list, that Ramsar list of wetland convention. In this, country designate the Ramsar sites, and when these sites are designated on the Ramsar site, and then the country have to that country have to make a specific legislation or make specific provision for the conservation of these wetlands. The world's first site was Cobourg Peninsula in Australia, designated in 1974. So this is you have to remember, the world's first site was Cobourg Peninsula in Australia. The total number of Ram sites in India. In India, there are a total number of 49 Ramsar sites under Ramsar Convention. The two new Ramsar sites that are added recently are Khijdiya Wildlife Sanctuary in Gujarat and Bakira Wildlife Sanctuary in Uttar Pradesh. So you have to remember this. There are 49 Ramsar sites in India, and the two latest addition. Earlier there were 47, and the two latest addition are Khijdiya Wildlife Sanctuary in Gujarat and Bakira Wildlife Sanctuary in Uttar Pradesh. And India has also made a legislation, that is Wetland Conservation and Management Rules 2017, to conserve and manage the wetlands in India, and it falls under the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. So this is the basic information. Now, Montrex record. What is a Montrex record? Montrex record is also part of Ramsar Convention. So is a register. It is a register of wetland sites of the list of wetlands of international importance where changes in ecological character. So it is list of those sites, international wetland sites, where changes in the ecological character have occurred or occurring or are likely to occur as a result of technological development, pollution, or of other human impact. So it is a register of those wetlands which have undergone changes, which are undergoing changes, or which will undergo changes because of the pollution, technological development, and all that. So it's basically about a register of those wetlands which require special importance in terms of conservation, so that as to prevent the changes and prevent the nature of that wetland, so as to protect them from exploitation, and conserve them. So this is that record. So till now in India there were three. Initially Chilka was added because it was undergoing because it was under threat. So earlier Chilka Lake was added in the Montrex Convention, but because of the conservation efforts, Chilka Lake was removed from this. Now Indian sites in the Montrex record, there are two Indian sites, Keoladev National Park, Rajasthan, and Loktak Lake, Manipur. So those sites which are under Montrex record are under threat, and therefore they require a special conservation. Earlier it was Chilka, now Keoladev and Manipur. This was removed because of the conservation effort. There are two currently. So now we'll discuss about Ramsar sites in Punjab. So there are 6 Ramsar sites in Punjab. 3, 4, 5, 6. First is Kanjli, Keshopur. Second is Keshopur. Third is Nangal. Fourth is Byas. Fifth is Roper. So there are six. So first is Kanjli, second is Keshapur, Nangal, Byas, and river, and one Roper, sorry, not river, and one Harike. Harike. So out of 49, six wetlands are in Punjab. So you have to remember these wetlands and try to remembering all the wetlands. Otherwise, I will cover this wetland section in one of the explained series. So for the time being, these are the six wetland sites, six wetland sites in the Ramsar Convention in India, and that is from Punjab. So these are the six. So this is we have discussed about Ramsar Convention 1971, what is Montreux record and how many Indian sites are there, and how many Indian sites in the Montreux record, and how many sites in Punjab, and the name of sites in the Punjab. Now, water awards are done till Karnataka. So it's about Mekadatu River project. So what is this is not important. What is important is Mekadatu River project. So where this project is in Karnataka, approved in 2017, which district? Ramnagara. And the what is most important is Mekadatu on which river? It's on Kaveri River. And the primary objective is to supply drinking water to Bangalore and for water conservation and recharge of groundwater. Now Tamil Nadu argued that when Karnataka will utilize the water from by making Meghdatu project, it will disrupt and it will affect the natural flow of river and will severely affect the irrigation. For example, this is the river going, this is Karnataka, and this is Tamil Nadu. When Karnataka will utilize the water here, Tamil Nadu is threatened with the fact that it will affect the flow of the river, and therefore less water will be available in the Tamil Nadu region for irrigation purposes. So that is the issue. So basic information, where is it? Where does Meghdatu project lie? In Karnataka, in Ramnagara district, then in Kaveri River dispute between Meghdatu River dispute between Tamil Nadu and Karnataka. So that is important on this topic. And then there is a Krishna water river dispute. So we have discussed in explained session. So you can go and watch the explained session on Krishna river water dispute. So this is a dispute between the sharing of water between Krishna river and sharing of Krishna water river between Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, and Telangana. Karnataka. For more detail, you can go and watch Vidhigya explained session on like Krishna water river dispute. So you will get more information. So these two, Mekadatu project, Krishna river water dispute are important. So you have to remember the factual information related to this for CLAT examination. Now the third article, coordinated quizness. So we have discussed a lot about CORD. So earlier there was meeting between foreign ministers, foreign secretary, foreign minister. Now this is the meeting in which the leaders of the CORD party, leader of the CORD country, leader means here the head, the president or prime minister from different countries. So what was this meeting about? The latest CORD meeting was in part likely motivated by concerns of the USA, Australia, and Japan. So it was related with the concern that Australia, Japan, and USA is concerned that India abstained from voting against Russia, and India did not condemn Russian actions in Ukraine. So this is why this meeting took place. However, India was not forced on such issue that you need to condemn, but these other three countries condemned again during CORD meeting, condemned Russia's action in Ukraine. So along with this, that was related to Ukraine crisis. Now, along with this, the four nations also reaffirmed that their commitment to free, open, Indo-Pacific region in which the sovereignty and territorial integrity of all states is respected and countries are free from military, economic, and political concern. So again, we'll discuss about CORD, four country, USA, Japan, Australia, India. Then we'll discuss about Malabar exercise, though we have discussed this. So it started in 1992 between USA and India. Then 2015, Japan joined. And 2021 Australia joined. So it started in 1992. Now there are four countries, and like the name is Malabar exercise, and it is a naval exercise. It is a naval exercise between four countries. So this is what you have to remember. Now, why India is in such a precarious situation? Because on the one side, India needs USA and Western powers to counter China in Indo-Pacific region. On the other hand, Russia is important because of its traditional relationship with Russia on various issues such as security, defense, and Russia has also helped India in a lot of situations. For example, 1971 war by vetoing a UNSC resolution which was against India for like for fighting again for fighting in East Pakistan. So this was though Russia in that year vetoed this UNSC resolution, and that is why Russia becomes important for India. At the same time, USA and other Western power are also important. So India needs both this Russia and USA and West. And USA is also not pressurizing India because USA needs India in Indo-Pacific region to counter the Chinese aggression and the rise of China in the global world power scenario. So this is what is important. Now, this is not important. Now, another topic is safety net for students abroad. So what is this topic about? So now as you might be hearing that around 20,000 Indian students studying in Ukraine, that is medical education. So this topic says Indians have gone abroad to pursue higher education. Before the onset of pandemic, more than 750,000 Indian students were studying abroad, spending around $24 billion in foreign economies, which is around 1% of India's GDP. So this much is the percentage of income that Indians are spending in foreign nations on their studies, and the number is expected to rise and expending nearly around 80 billions outside India. And why this is happening, why more and more people are going outside India for education. So demand is soaring for various reasons. The reason are including gap in Indian supply of quality education against the demand. So there is a need, there is a demand of better education quality, and however the supply is less, therefore they are going to abroad nations for better medical education, or you can say other education. So with more than half of the Indian population under age of 25, and however, you can see that with more than half of the Indian population under age of 25, and no Indian university in world top 100, it is natural that aspirational student would look to study abroad. Since Indian university does not come under like Indian university does not come under top 100 university in world, and there India has a large population, huge population, which is young population, and they are demanding for quality education which India fails to deliver. Therefore they are going abroad for a quality education to meet their aspirations. So what is more about this? So as Sushma Swaraj, the earlier external affairs minister, referred Indians abroad as brand ambassadors. So she referred Indians studying abroad are a brand ambassador of India, that they are building India's image outside in the countries in which they are studying. Prime Minister Narendra Modi and UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson called Indians in UK the living bridge. So they are living bridge between UK and India. So this is the importance of Indian students or Indians those are living abroad. So we know many personalities like Sundar Pichai, Satya Nadella, they are the brand ambassador of India in foreign countries. Yet one has to look at the social media or hear some conversation to realize how much content. However, as you are seeing that the people are showing their concerns against the citizens, against the people who are studying abroad, that why they are going outside study, why can't they study in India, what is their problem, or like many people are pointing out issue as those who are studying abroad and saying that this is not good and this degenerates India's image outside, that India is not capable of providing good education. While such opinions do make some noise, the larger benefits in terms of soft power, knowledge transfer, remittances that come back India render. So, but what is more important, that soft power, it increases India's soft power, knowledge transfer, that when Indians are studying outside and then when later they come back, so there's knowledge transfer in India, they can share their knowledge with their friends, and then when they are working outside, they are sending money to their money to India where their family is living. So it is also about remittances. So this is the importance of Indians studying abroad. However, what is, as we have seen that Indians studying abroad and now the war has erupted. Earlier the situation was in Canada where protest was, and in UK also something happened wherein Indian student face problem because of the bogus colleges. So what this article says that Indian government should proactively create a safety net for international students. So it talks about that Indian government should create a safety net for Indian students who are studying abroad. So this safety net is about that international agreement that obliges host countries to ensure the welfare of Indian during times of crisis and contingency should be given a paramount. So India can enter into an agreement with another country where their students are living or studying, said that as per this agreement, it is the obligation of that host country that they must like that They must ensure the welfare of Indian citizens during the time of crisis and contingency. For example, like what is happening in Ukraine, there must be some obligation to protect Indian citizens and to ensure the welfare of Indian citizens. So that is this topic is talk that is important, that what is meant by safety net, that getting into an agreement with the host country which will ensure the safety of Indian student and welfare of the Indian student in case of any crisis or contingency. So that is important. So the trade agreement which India is currently negotiating with UK and Australia make for great opportunities. So now India is in discussion of trade agreement with with UK and Australia. Therefore, this article says that India can channelize this topic, that is safety net for Indian student studying abroad in UK and Australia. That as per this agreement, it is the obligation of host countries to ensure the welfare and safety of the Indian students who are studying in their country and in the times of crisis and any contingency. So that is important. So this topic, there's nothing to remember as a factual information. How is more about the ideology and more is about the understanding why safety net is important. Why safety net is important? Because during the time of crisis, the Indian student faces challenges, and like during COVID pandemic, when they had to come back, leave their study, now they are facing the challenges that where will they go, how will they complete their education. Same goes with the crisis in Ukraine. However, when a safety net will be provided, this will be ensured that the welfare of the students will be protected. Now, the last article is locally made trainer aircraft finishes sea trial. So this is important. A first of its kind indigenous aircraft carrier, name is Hansa NG, developed by CSIR National Aerospace Limited. It has completed sea level trials in Puducherry in necessary condition before evaluation by DG Directorate General of Civil Aviation. What is this aircraft about? It is an ideal aircraft for commercial pilot licensing due to its low cost and low fuel consumption. So it is ideal aircraft for commercial, where the trainer can be used to give training for the commercial pilots and then they get license from that. So it is useful in that sense that it can be used by the companies for training students, and then later these students can get the training like this commercial pilot license. This is a two-seater Hansa NG. It is a revamped version of original Hansa developed 3 decades ago. So you have to remember when the question asked about trainer aircraft, which was made indigenously in India, and the name is Hansa NG, and it is developed by CSIR National Aerospace Laboratory. So this is important. Now, what is important here is that, and then one thing that I would like to discuss about is the maritime shipping challenges. So because of Russia and Ukraine crisis, the Russia is a huge exporter of oil and natural gases. Now, because of the crisis, the oil supply has reduced. Therefore, the oil prices have increased, and because of the increase in the shipping and freight freight cost has increased, and this will lead to increase in the prices of product, and therefore it will create more inflation in the society. So this is, you have to remember how inflation is related, because prices will increase of oil, so therefore prices of product will increase. Therefore the prices of when the prices of product will be increased, it will also lead to inequality, because those who have money, those who have more money can buy the product, but those who do not have enough money, they won't be able to buy the product because of this crisis, because of the rising prices due to the crisis and due to the limited oil export. So what is important is here that India need to diversify its options. For example, with Iran, Central Asian countries for gas and oil. India need to improve its relation with China, because China has huge rare rare earth metal that is important for semiconductor industry. India can also get its oil from USA, gas from USA. Then what is more important, the reach to Central Asia, along with India need to utilize its relation with UAE, Saudi Arabia, so that the impact of oil crisis does not fall on the Indian consumer, and Indian consumer do not suffer because of the crisis in Russia and Ukraine. So now we will discuss 5 important questions. So the first question is Malabar exercise started in which year? Your options are 1949, 1992, 1957, 2002. The correct option is 1992. Question number 2, Meghdatu River project is planned on which river? Your options are Kaveri, Krishna, Chuari, none of the above. Correct option is Kaveri. Question number 3, which of the following wetland is from Punjab? Your options are Harike, Roper, Byas, all of the above. The correct option is all of the above. Along with these three, there are three more. That is Kanjali, Keshopur, and Nangal. Question number 4, Ramsar Convention came into force in which year? Your option are 49, 91, 1997, 1971, none of the above. The correct option is 1970. Why it is known as Ramsar Convention? Because it was signed in the Ramsar city of Iran. The Ramsar Convention is about conservation of wetlands. Conservation of wetland. In India, there are 49 wetland under Ramsar Convention and 2 under Montrex Record. So that is factual information you have to remember. Question number 5. India has how many wetland under Ramsar Convention? Your option 40, 45, 49, none of the above. The correct option is 49. So that's all for today's session. Stay logical with Vidhigya, your best pal in CLAT Preps.